What is patentable subject matter? Many people would say these days that the answer to this question is rather confusing. The Supreme Court has issued a number of decisions recently trying to state the test, but things are a little bit of a mess. Nonetheless, we can try to talk about the basic framework. So let's start with the statute. So 35 USC 101 clearly sets out what is patentable. In particular, patentable subject matter is any process, machine, manufacture, or composition matter, or a new version of that. Now, of course, just because something is patentable subject matter doesn't mean you will get a patent, but rather this is the first step. So process is pretty clear, any method. Machine also you can probably think of. Manufacture, composition of matter, we're basically talking about something that is created. So it could be a metal alloy, it could be a car, it could be an engine, any of those could possibly be it. Now, so far that's pretty clear, but there is more than just the statute to evaluate whether things are patentable. In particular, there are a number of common law exclusions. So not stated in the statute, but we all know or should know that these exist. So what are they? One bar is abstract ideas. So if it's just kind of a general idea or a mathematical formula or algorithm, that's not patentable. Similarly, you cannot patent natural or physical phenomena. That could include something like a weather event or a new species of animal or a new element, or laws of nature like E equals mc squared. Now you may be wondering why. What is the reason? It's not in the statute, so why are these things barred? So I like to think about it as these things are fundamental building blocks that everybody needs. And also that if you, for example, found a new animal, have you actually done something yourself? Not really. You may have discovered it, but you did not create it. So these things are excluded because we want everyone to be able to use them. And we don't want a patent to actually block more innovation. So that's the big picture. So try to keep that in mind because that is what the goal is for all the tests for patentable subject matter, even though probably we haven't hit the ideal framework yet, that's what we're trying to do. So, current test. Most recent Supreme Court decision, Alice, set forth a two-step test. The first asks if there is a common law issue in terms of the claim being directed to one of the things we just talked about, laws of nature, natural phenomena, or abstract ideas. If it is, then we move to step two. Now you should notice that if you don't have any of those things, then you will easily pass the patentable subject matter tests. Only if you're in one of those categories do you then move to step two. And step two is a little bit complicated. The technical test is whether there is an inventive concept that transforms the claim into patentable subject matter. What is that trying to say? Basically, we're trying to see, is there something more than just those topics that we already said shouldn't be patentable? Now that may seem all very theoretical, so let's try to think about an example. So you already know algorithms are abstract ideas and in general shouldn't be patented because everyone needs them. But what if you used an algorithm for something in particular? So there was actually a Supreme Court case, Diamond v. Deere, where there was a method of curing rubber that involved an algorithm. And this is something that would pass the two-step test. So even though the claim included an algorithm, because the claim wasn't just the algorithm itself, but applying it to one specific concrete area such that you're not barring everyone from using the algorithm, that does pass the test. Now let's think about another example. So this is an image of a mask that is preventing someone from eating. And the claim, because obviously when you're evaluating patentable subject matter, you need to do it based on a claim. It's not the most easy to read claim, but it's talking about, as you can see, a face mask for preventing introduction of substances into the mouth, i.e. food, in case you can't just resist eating something on your own. Now remember, the first step is there a common law exclusion in this claim? Somewhere in this claim, is it talking about abstract ideas, natural phenomena, or laws of nature? Now, this is a face mask. It's not a general idea for how to prevent you from eating. Rather, this is a specific thing, arguably a manufacture. There is no formula involved, and it is not a natural phenomenon. So this should be an example of what easily passes patentable subject matter. You don't have to get into thorny second test. So there are many things that pass patentable subject matter. The more complicated ones often involve computers, business methods, sometimes things that involve steps of medical tests, but there are many, many other things that should easily pass. So hopefully that gives you a general idea of patentable subject matter.